Yeah. Here you go. All right. Here we go. Ready for the podcast now. Got the cat out of the chair. So today, guys, we're talking about morning routines. We're talking about what a morning routine can do for you as an athlete, why you should have one, and then in turn, what you can start adding into it to actually start working on this habit. Now, before we get into it, this podcast, as you guys know, if you've tuned in before, is being done with the aim of helping athletes create their dream careers in their sport. We help with every area that we can. We get into mindset stuff. We get into athletic development, like training specific stuff, how to approach your day, each and every piece of the puzzle that involves helping an athlete succeed at the highest level. So if you or if someone you know is interested in that type of content, make sure you go check out the show at theelitedevelopmentpodcast.ca. Elitedevelopmentpodcast.ca. There's no "the" in front of it. Or check it out, The Elite Development Podcast, on all major podcast platforms. That's Apple, Spotify, wherever you can find a podcast, you can find the show. Now, let's get into the show in 3, 2, 1. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Elite Development Podcast, the #1 show for athletes looking to gain an edge on their opponents and build their dream careers in sport. I am your host, Kenny Dusseault, and today we are talking about morning routines. We're talking about what they are, why they're important, and what you can do to develop yours to help you start seeing new levels of success in your sport. Now, why am I bringing this topic to you? So plain and simple, guys, developing a morning routine that I do not miss on was something that literally changed my life, my business, my physical health, everything that I do forever. And I will swear by this for as long as possible. And it is something that you guys need to have in your lives. Now, it doesn't need to be long. It doesn't need to be complicated. I've got, I believe, 9 things in mind right now, but these are things that I do every single day, regardless of how I'm feeling, regardless of how much sleep I got the night before, whatever it is. And I'll talk about what they are, and I'll talk about why I do them. So first off, I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning every single day. And right away, I have a full bottle of water, and right away, I have a cup of coffee. This just wakes me up, gets my brain hydrated, gets me kind of ready to actually start the routine, because otherwise at 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm a fucking zombie. So then from there, I come into this office, actually sitting right here in this same chair, if you're seeing this on video, and I do a 10-minute guided meditation. And that guided meditation, it's called I switch between a manifestation meditation and a higher self meditation. And the reason I like these two is because honestly, it just helps me come into the day in a calmer state of mind. So, whatever I've got going on in that day, whether it's, new meetings with something that I'm nervous about, or, whether it's a lot of coaching sessions, whether it's me developing trainings for the people on my team, whatever it might be, I come at it with a more calm state of mind because I'm starting my day with this higher self or this manifestation meditation, where it's literally 10 minutes that I sit and I think about goals that I have for my life, things that I want, things that I want to do within my career, anything and everything that just helps me improve me. From that meditation, I read through my company vision, which is written up on my wall. And then I read through my why behind why I coach, which is written in a Word document on my computer. Then I take out my journal. I journal up 3 intentions for the day, 3 to 5 self-affirmations, and 3 things I'm grateful for. The reason I do that one is it just, again, centers me through the day. Everybody experiences self-doubt. If you try to say that you never doubt yourself, you're full of shit. And this is something that I know I struggled with for a long time. So those intentions and those affirmations, putting it on paper of basically who I'm trying to be today and who I believe I can be in the future, just helps cement that I'm in control. I'm in control. I can do the things that I set my mind to, and it's not up to anyone else. It's up to me. And this is something that, as much as that might sound, like rah motivational, it was so fucking helpful, because everything that I doubt about myself I sit down and I affirm the opposite. I affirm the things I want. I affirm the things I know I can do. I affirm the things I know I can be. And literally every single day, I'm starting by saying, oh, here's all this self doubt that I have, and fuck that. We're going to move past it. And it's a super powerful way to start the day, and something I'd recommend for all of you. After the journal, I open up Google Calendar, which has my whole schedule laid out every week, and I write my to-do list. So everything that I have written in there, every open work block, what I'm going to do within those work blocks so that I can maximize productivity. I'm not starting, I'm not sitting down at my computer going, oh, what do I do today? It's literally just there, and I know exactly what I'm doing, exactly when I'm doing it. And so I crush every fucking day that I have that planned out. From the to-do list, I move to, wow, it's slipping out of my mind. From the to-do list, I get into the training app and I respond to all client messages that came through overnight. So open up the training app, I'm getting back to clients, answering any questions that they have, making any adjustments that I need to make. And then from there, we are getting back to social media messages. So opening up Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, answering any messages that I got through there. Then I'm headed off to the gym. Usually I'm at the gym by about 5:30. 5:30 till about 7, I'm at the gym. When I get back from the gym, I post my first reel for the day so that you'll see usually from me by about 7:30 in the morning if all goes well. And then I start my actual workday. So literally from 4 till about 7:30 or 8 o'clock, every single day looks the same. And the reason that is now we're going to get into the reasons behind morning routines. So number one is consistency and discipline. If every single day you wake up at the exact same time, and I don't mean that it has to be 4 o'clock for everybody. Some people work late or train late or whatever it might be. But by setting the time that you're going to wake up every single day, now you set a win in your mind. The alarm goes off, you get up, you have a win in the bank already. I said I was going to wake up at 4 and I woke up at 4. Now you're starting your day off on a positive note. The other thing that will actually create a lot of benefit for is now you're going to be calmer when you start your day, because if you set that time that you're going to wake up every single day and you actually stick to it, you're avoiding ever rushing out of the house, shoveling some random breakfast down your throat when you're not prepared for what you've got going on that day, because you gave yourself the time you needed. The next thing is mental preparation. Like I said, I deal with self-doubt constantly, and I know a lot of people out there do too, to some degree or another. And by setting aside time every single day to work on your mindset, by setting aside time every day to mentally prepare yourself for your day, you're combating that self-doubt that you feel. You're combating those feelings of not being good enough, not being worthy, whatever else it is you might feel. You're combating that every single day when you get up. And it doesn't mean that those feelings go away, but it means that you're able to work through them. You're able to face them. You're able to get past them instead of just pretending they don't exist. Now, with that mental preparation, again, pick what works best for you in terms of, the amount of time that you meditate or anything like that. I find 10 minutes is the sweet spot. If I try to go too much beyond that, it starts to kind of just weigh on my mind. I'm sitting there meditating and half of my brain is thinking, is this almost over? So when I go to 15, I almost feel like I don't get as much out of it. Then the next thing as well is you can include physical activity in that morning routine. So my workout is in my morning routine. I don't miss workouts ever anymore because it's part of my non-negotiable things that I do every single day. And even like this morning, as an example, was a recovery day. So I got in my car, I drove to the gym, and I stretched. I didn't do much physical, like anything too super hard, but it was more about sticking to the routine and doing that at the gym than it was anything else. But by keeping that in the routine every day, you put yourself in a position where you don't miss it. And if you don't miss it, then it becomes a habit. And again, you start changing the identity, changing the way you look at yourself. Then when it comes to the to-do list, this is just super important. Like even if you are, working the same job every day, just by simply taking a few minutes, sitting down and writing out what you have to do during the day. Okay, I'm working from 8 to 4. At 5 o'clock, I'm going to training, and then if I train 5 to 7, and then at 7:30, I need to go to groceries, and then I should be home around 8:30. You know, simply by just putting that in there, now you're never having those moments of, oh, what do I have to do today? Or you're not getting home after work or after training and going, shit, I had to do groceries today. You're consistently crushing your days because you've taken time to actually write them out. Moving on, it's getting into optimal nutrition and optimal performance. So like I mentioned, getting to the gym every day at the same time, it's just going to allow you to put yourself in a position where it's a habit more than it is just about the physical side of it. And then the nutrition as well. If you have trouble with your meal preps, trouble with, consistently getting your nutrition goals in, make that part of the routine. Every single morning, you take 20 minutes to plan out what you're eating that day, when you're eating it, making sure that you have it all ready so that you don't slip on those nutrition goals. And the other thing, and this one is super important for a lot of athletes out there, is this gives you time for goal setting, and this gives you time for strategically planning your day. Like I said, write out everything that you have in your day, but then also review where you're at in terms of your goals for your career, your goals for the next day, next week, next month. That's why I have that journal. That journal every day, part of the affirmations are goals that I have for myself. So one of them right now that I'm writing out every day is I will own a house in 2024. I don't own a house yet. I've wanted to own a house for a long time. And I've decided that 2024 is the year that I'm aiming to do that. So every single day, I'm affirming to myself that I'm going to own a house in 2024, because that used to be something that scared me. That used to be something that I felt like was out of reach for me. So now I'm just shifting it every day, making myself believe I'm going to own a house when I say that I'm going to own a house. And so goal setting, whether it's for life stuff like that, or whether it's for career stuff, I'm going to be in the UFC by 2025, whatever it might be. Reaffirming it every day just puts that in your mind before you start your day. I am a future UFC fighter. And then you can start your day and pursue your day the way a future UFC fighter would. So now, how do you go about starting your morning routine? Hopefully this so far has given you a little insight as to how morning routines can help you, why they're important, but how do you go about starting yours? The first thing is pick a wake up time. Now, the reason that I have 4 a.m. is not because I'm, required at the gym by 5 or anything like that. First of all, it's early enough that it's a struggle. So I start my day every day, and I know this sounds super cliche, but I start my day every day with something I don't want to do. I don't want to get up at 4 a.m., but I have really big goals for my career. So starting my day with something difficult that I don't want to do and stacking that little win, saying, I didn't want to do this, but I did it, helps me attack the rest of my day better. So I start my day at 4 a.m. And the other reason that I have 4 a.m. as the wake up time is because I have a lot in that morning routine. I have a lot of stuff on my plate every day. So if I don't plan it out properly, things slip. Either my workout slip, my nutrition slips, taking care of my home slips. Like there are little things here and there that slip. So by having my day all planned out and then being at the gym by 5:30, being finished all those things at 7, now my work day starts, and all the things that I'm like, okay, all the things that normally might slip within the day are done by 7 o'clock in the morning. So now having those non-negotiables in there and then having that wake up time in there are going to be two crucial elements. So first, picking the wake up time. It does not have to be 4 a.m. or, some crazy early time if that's not applicable to your situation. Like if you work night shifts, then yeah, don't be trying to get up at 5 a.m. if you're getting off work at midnight, because that's not going to allow you to really pursue anything. But pick the wake up time. Make it early enough that it's going to be uncomfortable. Like don't say, if you're working a regular 9 to 5 job, don't say, okay, I'm going to get up at 8:45, because then you're not going to be able to do anything else. So if it's a 9 to 5 type of job, I would say make yourself focus on getting up by 6:30 instead of getting up by 8. And by doing that, now you can add these things in. So number one, find that direct wake up time that makes sense for you. Number two, something to do with the mindset. That 10-minute meditation every day. What that does is that just helps me start my day from a calm state. By starting the day from a calm state, I'm able to better attack problems as they come up. I'm able to keep a more level head through the day as that becomes more and more of a requirement. So something to do with your mindset every day. Number three, something to do with your future every day. So that's why I have the vision all on my wall behind my computer, and I have the why written into a Word document on my computer. Because every day I'm reinforcing what I'm working towards, right? So again, for athletes, that's going to be where you want to be in your career. That's going to be amount of money that you want to make, car you want to drive, home you want to live in, family life that you want. And by writing that down and reading it every day, you've now reinforced with yourself that you are able to handle the problems that life throws at you. And you're reinforcing to yourself what you're working towards. So when training gets tough, when life gets tough, when work gets tough, you're coming back to that why and that vision for your future. Now, the next thing, planning out the day. So this is planning out your training time, planning out when you're doing those non-negotiables like getting groceries, housework that has to be done, anything like that. And then, honestly, guys, right there is a good place to start. You can add more stuff as you feel it's necessary. You can add more stuff as, different needs and everything like that come up. But right there is a great place to start. And the key here too is give this a real shot. Like, I understand trying it one day and then being like, oh, I did it for one day and I don't feel different. But like, don't do it for one day. It's not going to make a difference in one day. That'd be like going to one class at your gym and then being like, oh, I'm not a world-class athlete yet. What the fuck? And then just never going back. It's the same idea as that. You got to give it time. You got to give it consistency. And I promise you, you stick to something like this every day, over time, you're going to start seeing yourself as an entirely different, entirely new level of yourself. And in turn, those results are going to start to show in the sport. So guys, I hope you got some value from this. I hope you learned something. If you did, I would love to know what it is. Make sure to shoot me a message across any of my social media platforms. All the links on how to do that will be in the show notes below. As always, I appreciate you all. I appreciate you for tuning in. And I will catch you on the next episode. Ooh, that's a lot of crap. All right.